A present under the Christmas tree, King Tut, M&M, and a hot air balloon. 3 things wrapped up. Add to that list a driver and team championship. The Absolute Beginners League's Formula Neagle comes to Suzuka for its Season 7 finale. Despite all the trophies having been already engraved with little skippies on the origami pretzel, there should be no shortage of action. Watch it all live as it happens here on the Global Sim Racing channel. Konnichiwa and welcome to GSRC's Countdown to Green. Way up in the press box to bring you our Words Eye View is Soup and Crackers. Yours truly, Bill Soup's on. Adam Young is on assignment, so joining me in the booth this afternoon is Sean Crackers Ambrose. In the director's chair is the hardest working man in sim race broadcasting, Joe Peak, armed with cameras, located, aimed, zoomed, and focused by GSRC's camera guru, Dougie Beard. As cyberspace flows into your place over the next 15 streaming award-worthy minutes, GSRC will bring you all the storylines, all the stats and facts you'll need to fully appreciate the 70 minutes of simulated skip barber racing that will immediately follow. Crackers, the last time Formula Neagle came to Suzuka was way back in Season 9 when Tron Tran nosed Arrow Num by 1/10 of a second to get the win. So since it's been a while since that last Season 9 broadcast, how about a refresher course on Suzuka?
Konnichiwa, Soup. Yes, from the land of the rising sun and Godzilla, Suzuka City, Japan. The track opened in 1962. This place started as a test track for Honda. Now, a variety of corner types here, a few high-speed portions, and a figure-8 layout that offered a more equal amount of left and right turns, made it perfect as a test track, but a challenge as a racetrack. They hosted F1 back in 63 and 64 before F1 went to Fuji. It's been modified several times. In 83, the Casio triangle was added, and the Degner curve was made into two corners. Degner 1 and 2 now, instead of that just one long curve. Now, F1 returned in 87, and Suzuka has hosted the Japanese Grand Prix all but 2 years since then, Soup. But the best way to get an idea of what it's like to get around this 17-turn, 5.8-kilometer racetrack is to go on board the GSRC Skippy for a lap around Suzuka.
All right, we've got Amjad Yaman in the GSRC Skippy, so let's do a lap around Suzuka. Coming down to turn 1, it's going to be tricky with the lift throttle oversteer, because 1 is more or less the entry to 2. Get the car slowed and stable to brake for this long banked right-hander. Even though it's at the end of a lengthy straight, this combo is going to make passing sketchy. As you exit, gently bring it back across the track to set up for the S's. Now, Amjad takes these series of back and forths without braking the whole way. Once again, using the characteristics of the car when off throttle, he's getting it to rotate around each bend. Keeping your rhythm is going to be very important to staying online. And if you get off of it, expect to be playing catch-up for the rest of the lap. And honestly, this is not a circuit where you want to overdrive the car. Now, as we come out of these and into Dunlop, it'll be flat out, so you'll mostly want to hold left around this long curve. Make sure to keep hugging the side of the road once it straightens, because now we're into Degner 1. Take a bit of curb, but make sure not to send the whole car over it. Then get left and onto the outside curb to slow it down for Degner 2. There's a lot of camber to help carry your speed, and you can just about straddle that rumble strip on the exit. From there, you'll stay left and then cut across at the kink to give yourself the widest entry into the hairpin. Keeping traction while also managing to rotate the rear of the car will help set you up perfectly because it's a long time on the throttle after here. Even though it's curved, 12 is more like a straight in the Skippy. Drafting could come into play, but you won't want to defend to the right because the upcoming spoon curve actually turns left. This is another one that will challenge even the most experienced driver. The first apex is fairly quick, and then you've got to straighten the car along the curved curb on the outside. Brake and really get it to turn in for the slower second apex. Again, guys who can keep the car planted and steady will be in a much better position now that we're being dumped on the extensive backstretch. The exit is so much more important than the entry into spoon. Like most long courses in this lower powered Skippy, you're going to see draft battles start to erupt along this high speed uphill climb. But you won't want to be side by side at the end of it because now we're approaching the fearsome 130R. You want to lift and just let it creep onto the curb, but not the AstroTurf. Put a wheel on that and she'll be sent spinning. Quickly get the car across the track and throw out the anchors for the Casio triangle. This is a great place to try to sneak a pass in if you're close to the car in front. However, if you're by yourself, hold nice and tight on the first part, then get the power on as soon as you dare for the second. From there, it's simply a matter of shortening the line around the final curve, making sure to hit your shifts correctly, and bringing it home across the line at Suzuka.
I never get tired of hearing Joe Peak talk us around a racetrack, this time the origami pretzel that is Suzuka. And now let's take a lap around the point standings. 39 points is unclosable, so give the Roland Estonian Aeronum his 4th Formula Neagle crown, and this one makes 3 in a row for the Bushfink Pink driver. Congratulations. Mama Jean Racing's Bastian Hausmann did what he could, including picking up his first career win this season. Hausmann's teammate Tuan Tran got the only other victory so far. Pierce Cocky for Draco Racing missed a race, but thirds in his last 2 events, moves Short Phil into 4th. Am Racing's Andrew Leach rounds out the overlay. Moving to the team championship, like Num in the driver's race, 68 points is unclosable margin in the team championship, so Tuan Tran and Bastian Hausmann have done it again for Mama Jean Racing. Frederick Neptune gets to the podium. He and Num teamed up for 186 points for Bushfink Pink. 2 Stupidest Dogs, powered by Vincent Breen and David Third Degree Burns, have a 12-point lead over Am Racing Prime's team of Andrew Leach and Mikael Hofladezen for the final podium spot. Gap Sim Racing team, manned by Floris Bashar and Hendrik Kamara, sit in 5th. So, Crackers, we talked about the track, gone over the points. How about we look at the race details?
Well, Soup, as you mentioned just a couple minutes ago, this is round 7 of 7, okay? And we haven't had any drop races to deal with this season, so let's not focus on that. What we will focus on is the 70 minutes ahead. Yes, 70 minutes for this final round today. Used to seeing 45. We're going to stretch it out a bit. What does that mean? Well, it means 2 stops for fuel. And Soup has some ideas about that strategy. We'll talk more about it. Into the cap at 24. Suzuka, you could pick up the X's here pretty quick if you're not careful, but I think they'll be able to keep the skippies in the gray and on the track, and hopefully we don't see anybody disappear into the Twilight Zone. No fast repairs. Be prepared to take care of your machine. Racing side by side could come at risk of maybe putting some damage on your car, and you don't want it here. A lot of high-speed sections where you want the absolute pristine machine rolling under you.
Crackers, to win one of these, you got to beat your competitors. You also have to beat the racetrack. And the third thing you have to beat is the weather. How's that today?
Soup, it's a beautiful day. It's clear outside. It's 22 degrees centigrade, 27 degrees centigrade on track. Not a lot of wind, only about 3 to 4 kilometers of wind, gusting slightly. But it's just a beautiful day for racing here in Suzuka.
There are a few technical sessions through the S's there, through the snake, through 3, 4, 5, and 6. Some good passing spots into the hairpin, but I got a hunch there's enough long straightaways. We're probably looking at pack racing. Am I wrong?
I certainly think in the early stage of this race, out of turn 13, I mean, you're looking at such a great opportunity there on the backstretch to get a lot of work done. Initially here, I'd probably say over the first half dozen laps or so. Yeah, we'll see some pack racing. Things may spread out if some people have trouble. Trouble to been found here in practice already. I think maybe they'll do a little bit better when we get to the racing condition. But it's going to be a very fast race here. So some of the best here have arrived to finish this season out today.
You know, for me, this is a strange racetrack because it has a corner that sometimes is really impossible for me to get right, very scary, and other times, depending on the car I'm in, really simple. And I'm talking about corner 14, 130R. What do you think of these skippies? Do you think they have to lift there? Will they be able to go through there full speed? Have you spent much time on this car track combination?
Soup, you're not really lifting through there. Okay. You can nail it. There's grip there. You get a little bit of you get just a little bit over the curb there to the left, but it's flat out down into the Casio Triangle.
Well, why don't we take a second here? They have started qualifying. Sometimes qualifying very important because passing is at a premium. Not sure that's going to be the case here today. I think if you're anywhere up close, you got a good chance of staying in the front pack. So who do we see up on the front of qualifying? Well, it is no one other than, there he is.
Errol Num.
Errol Num, my goodness. He's not out on the track right now. He's put in a 2:22.117. That's about half a second faster than Pierce Cocky. Now, Cocky is out there.
Actually, Cocky just laid down his best lap, Soup, lap number 3. That was a 222 164 compared to Nom's 117. So yeah, he pushed it kind of close. He's got time for possibly a couple more laps here with just 4 minutes remaining here in qualifying.
You know, it's funny. Me growing up a fan of the Indianapolis 500, as far as qualifying goes, this might be old school, but wouldn't it be nice if iRacing offered a column where they could convert that to actually miles per hour? That would be fun, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would. It would, yeah. Or we could try and do the calculation. No, oh, that's right. No, we can't do math. We can't do the calculation.
Tuan Tran for Mama Jean Racing sitting in third, out there still putting in a lap in the purple and black attack. There you see him right there. His partner, Bastian Hausman, I thought Bastian was going to be on vacation today. He said he was on holiday, but it looks like he's at least put in a qualifying time. Another driver to look at is the Portuguese driver. He's a rookie, but he is exciting. Car number 48, currently fourth in qualifying, and that is Diogo Francisco. This guy is exciting to watch.
Yeah, he's obviously got good speed here. That's another driver there with a 22-1. Yeah, the top four, all 22-1s right now. It's a ways back to Bastian Hausman, actually, with a 22, what is that, a 22.8 he's got there. So 0.7 of a second separate them.
He just got through the technical session, then around Dunlop, then this drive down. This is a fun section. You're on the gas, and you get into Degner 1 and Degner 2 that Sean talked about. They are still almost like one corner. You come out here, you can see him swing wide. You get a little bit of a straight. Then you set this up. Be careful not to get out into the wall. Go beneath the overpass. And then, Sean, this is the exciting corner, especially early on, the hairpin. Do you protect the inside? Do you leave the inside open for speed?
Never leave the inside open. Hey, you know what?
Go ahead.
I just noticed is Tuan Tran and Piers Kocky both have identical times there in qualifying. Both now off the track. But, wow, 222.164. Still not good enough to topple Aeronome.
It is my understanding, I don't know this to be the case, it could be one of those urban legends, but iRacing actually goes even farther digits down that we don't get to see. So I'm getting confirmation from our director. That could be, I don't know though, I've never actually seen proof of that. Could be one of those things, don't dry your poodle in the microwave type thing. That's one of, you know, it's a story that actually never happened, but
right, exactly. and yes, why would you do that? Exactly.
Qualifying is let's look at it. Looks like we're done, so let's go ahead.
Francisco coming around one last time there. Oh, that was it. Okay.
So we wait for iRacing to... Oh, we can actually do it right now. We don't have to wait for it to populate. Here we go. So, the qualifying on the front row, Aeronome, Piers Kocky, Tuan Tran, and Diogo Francisco make up row 2. Bastian Hausman and Andrew Leach follow them. Row 4, Vincent Bream, the veteran, and Henrik Kamara. Row 5, Joachim Lundgren and Neil Bambi Bamber. Sean?
Okay, Frederick Neptune there in 11th and 12th. Matthew Downs, Michael... help me, Sue. What did we say?
Hofflet Rugenbrink.
Okay, Rugenbrink. Hoffeldazen, that's right. And Michael Rugenbrink there at 14th, 15th. Josh Brain, Andy Moore in 16th, 17th. John Richard, Kevin Mills in 18th, 19th. Christopher Hancock, and 20th, Marcus Gestal.
It got easier after Hoffeldazen, didn't they?
It did, yeah.
Ludwig Sauer in blackjack. Thomas Kick behind him. Ari Sejas in 23rd position. 24th, Roger Pritkin. In the quarter-century mark, it's Scott Weinstein. Then Tony Matthews, Edgar Sanchinelli, 28th, 29th, and 30th, Mark King, Mark Riddell, and David Third Degree Burns. What's he doing down there? No qualifying time for Burns. Go ahead.
All right, Soup. And then we've got, let's see, Dode Hoskins there, and Floris Bishar and Michael Bittman rounding out this field in 34.
Arnaldo Petkov in that little group too that did not qualify. 34 drivers on the entry list. Not sure how many are actually going to grid up. We'll find out right now. I don't remember here. You would think I would know if it is. The shadows look long and thin. So it's either morning or late afternoon here. Clearly, I had a long night that I don't know what time of day it is here in Japan. Too much sake.
Oh yeah, soup. They had to cut you off last night. Actually,
I made the race. That's all that matters. Gotta love racing here at Suzuka. It is a figure 8.
Soup. It is late afternoon, and boy, we needed all the sleep we could get to get this one going.
In the land of the rising sun, well, that's not the case now as it begins to set. Still waiting for the driver in third, Tuan Tran, to come out there. Tran, a veteran of the series, knows that the commentators have to hustle to get through a standing start to get everyone in there. He wants us to get our GSRC's commentator bonus. Thank you, Tuan. We made it. It was no problem. Thank you, though, for helping us. We get paid a little bit extra if we get everybody's name before they go green, which is about to happen here any second. Arrow Num, he has locked up the points championship, his 4th championship in the series, 3 in a row for him. The lights are up. He'd like to finish out the season on a good note. The engines start to harmonize. Gather up the chickens, take cover behind the cows, because the horses are out of the barn. And it is the Roland Estonian leading the stampede down into corner number 1. Pierce Cocky, Tuan Tran, Diego Francisco, and Bastian Hausman round out your top 5.
Tony Matthews sits on the grid. Something has happened. Car not moving.
So far, everybody makes it through 1 and 2 other than Matthews, but hopefully he can get that going. Probably a hardware issue. Now the field works their way through the stake. 3, 4, 5, 6. Left, right, left, right. So far, everybody clean as the leaders work into Dunlop.
Christopher Hancock off in the grass, back at turn 3. He's back underway, no damage.
Just a little bit of an off, no contact, though. Now they string out. Leaders heading down into Degner. This should be pretty good through here. Then watch them all accordion up as they go down into the hairpin. They go through Degner 1, they go through Degner 2, beneath the overpass. And it's going to be Errol Num getting to the corner first. We talked about, do you need to protect? Well, he's got a big enough lead. He can just take the line in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's somebody going 2 wide. That was Mikael Hofladezen making a move on Jochen Lundgren. He picks up that spot. Look at this, Sean. They all got through.
Yeah, they did. Boy, amazing. A lot of 2 wide battling there in that hairpin. Now making it down here to the spoon curve. Two drivers a little bit off as we're looking at Hofladezen right now. In the very back was Ari Seha. He had some issues. And Dode Hoskins. Those guys are a little bit off the pace. Everybody else doing okay. Went to college with a guy named Dode.
Oh, here we go. Here's our first pass, and that is Pierce Cocky. His nickname is Shortfield. He's has a notorious reputation for not putting enough fuel in the car. Hopefully he's got that behind him. They work their way through the Casio the Casio Triangle for the first time. I believe it's going to be Shortfield. Oh my goodness, he goes a little bit wide out of the triangle. Did he pick up a slowdown penalty? We'll find out. Here comes the Roland Estonian. He'd like to have credit for leading the first lap. Not going to happen. Give it to Shortfield as he takes that inside line. Boy, he is off pace. He might have picked up a slowdown penalty out of that Casio Triangle. That means Tran's going to take over second. Shortfield drops into third.
So back in the field, up to 18th, Marcus Gestal. He's picked up 2. Now, though, under threat here. Kevin Mills coming alongside, down to the inside. They're side by side.
Oh, we have an off from Pierce Cocky. He went a little bit wide out of, looks like that was maybe out of 2, yeah. Boy, he lost a lot of time.
He certainly did, Soup. Gets wide and a lot of traffic coming out to the right. He's careful the way he gets back on course there.
That's all about losing your rhythm. That off that he just had there, that's a result of what happened back in the Casio Triangle, where he just had the slowdown penalty, lost his lost his feel and then he makes this mistake. And he goes wide. You know what? It's possible, Sean, when you pick up a slowdown penalty on the first lap, sometimes it's really painful. He might have still been serving that.
He might have, but that the end result is now in 17th. Oh, and just in front of him there, John Richard gets out of the way, but does it abruptly. Scary moment there.
Okay, let's give you the rundown how things have settled down with Cocky out of the mix now. Some couple familiar names up front. It's an absolute beginner Formula Neagle event. I think I've said this once. I've said it 1,000 times. Errol Num and Tuan Tran won 1-2. But here comes the rookie we talked about, Diego Francisco. He's racing in third. He's got himself a little bit of a gap now as those three start to pull away from the other Mama Jean racer, Bastian Hausman. And there's Andrew Leach. Remember, Leach racing for Am Racing. Would like to have a good finish here. Let's see if Leach can make the move. They do not as they go through 130R. Stay on this a little bit more. Is Leach going to pressure it into the Casio Triangle? No. So those 5 guys have pulled away. Then you get to another battle of 5, led by Vincent Bream. Go ahead, Sean.
Oh, okay. You want to talk about that one, Vincent Bream and how Filderson there and Camera. This is a really, really tight battle. And then there's another one going on back for 12th right now. Frederick Neptune leads that, and Andy Moore, Matthew Downs. That's where Pierce Cocky's found himself now. The move being made. Neptune losing this to Andy Moore.
Moore, of course, Neptune. No, Neptune fighting back. Of course, Neptune racing for Bushfink Pink. His teammate is Errol Num right now. I talked about Num and Neptune combining for 186 points. 178 of those came from Errol Num, but nevertheless, he's on the team. Neptune racing in 13th position right now behind Moore. Pierce Cocky trying to make up for that early slowdown penalty back behind them. Newcomer Matthew Downs and then John Richards way back right on board with Shirtfield.
Yeah, he is trying to recover obviously here, but we got to be careful. Still a lot of time left in this race. I don't want to make a mistake trying to get this back here. Neptune certainly giving him a little bit of a little bit of defense here.
Stay on this a little bit more. There's good racing elsewhere, but we'll see how this plays out. This is fun. Frederick Neptune, a veteran of the series, in 13th right now. Andy Moore ahead of him. Cocky. Remember, Cocky qualified second. He's got the pace. Can he find a way around? They'll go through some. I think this is going to be done here. Boy, look at Cocky right up behind. Oh! Gives Neptune a little bit of a hello.
Just a bit.
Pierce Cocky on Neptune, tighter than a new pair of shoes on a rainy day, my dad used to say. Now he's going to get in the toe. Is this going to be a twofer? Let's stay on it. Don't let me down now. Piercy ducks to the inside. He's going to get one. And he's going to get none. And Pierce backs out. Well, if you're going to race that conservative, we're going to find somebody else to cover. Let's get up to that battle for 6. Let's go up to Bream, Hofladaisen, Kamara, Lundgren, and Bambi, Neil Bamber. And here comes on the inside. That is Bream making the move. Correctly, that's Bream on the outside. That's Hofladaisen getting to the inside. Hofladaisen picks up that spot going into 1.
He certainly does, but watch out. Yeah.
So
wow. Hofladaisen with a nice trip through there.
The Am Racing team, that's Hofladaisen racing in 6th. His partner is Andrew Leach racing in 5th. He's on the caboose of that lead lap pack. Let's jump up there, see how that runs right now. Now, these guys are all veterans, Sean, and I don't want to be cavalier about it, but nothing's going to happen for these guys. They are going to dance. They are not going to get into trouble. Errol Num, Tuan Tran, Diego Francisco, Bastian Hausman, and Leach. And honestly, it's almost not who's leading, is who's back there saving fuel.
Right, yeah. Well, I think you led on to something I probably didn't know too well, and that was what we're seeing is some pack racing. And well, what does that mean? Well, that means that some of the guys at the back are actually saving some fuel right now and getting a little strategy in here. Neptune, trouble for Neptune, off track, spinning in the grass. He's heading into Degner 1 here, I think, where he has trouble. Now going into Degner 2, off of 1.
Kind of.
Yeah,
look at it right now.
He starts sliding through 1 there. The rear end started coming around there at the apex. He slid all the way off track. Doesn't get into the Armco barrier. Keeps her straight.
Kind of took an unusual orbit around.
Now finds himself battling with Arnaldo Petkov. Ooh, Petkov goes a little wide. Neptune has to make a evasive move there to avoid him. This is back here for 21st.
Let's talk about Petkov. He's our hard charger. Petkov qualified in 30th, up 8 spots. Well, I say that right now because here comes Neptune back on him. Frederick Neptune's putting on a show for us here on GSRC. Oh, careful, and Eagle. Ooh, I thought he was going to come across the nose of Petkov, but it all worked out okay. Here comes Hofladaisen getting on. We just saw Hofladaisen get the spot earlier as he went around, I believe it was Brem, and now he gets it back again because Brem got it back. Yeah,
that was Brem. Yeah, the good battle between those two.
How about we give you a little interview here as we look at Hofladaisen, a little interview from Hofladaisen up to Leach, 3.3 seconds. Interval. Did I say interview? That's a little different, yes.
Rugenbrink actually just had an off. I'm sorry there, Soup. Rugenbrink went off the track. Don't think he picked up any damage. Slots back in 17th, right behind Josh Brain.
That's too bad. He had worked his way all the way up to 11th spot. We'll go ahead and take a replay of that one. I think our director has found it. Feel so bad for Michael. We really didn't talk about much. The only time we're going to give him a little attention is when he makes a mistake.
Just out it.
Oh, nice though. Boy, he just couldn't gather it up.
His drifting skills look to be on point there. Boy, now Josh Brain with trouble. Oh, boy.
Yep, just out of Degner 2.
Yup, and he loses it right there with Rugenbrink getting by. Tank slapper into the Armco barrier. Josh Brain
had that incident. Rugenbrink, boy, he'll have a windscreen full of this one. Just a few seconds ago, Director. It wasn't that far back. Here we go.
And what you're eventually going to see is actually Brain does make contact with Rugenbrink here. You'll see Brain in the blue and yellow car there start to lose it. Blue, yellow, and green. And boy, he just clips Rugenbrink as he was coming by.
Looks like the car was going to spin off to the inside, and then it came back around, maybe caught the left rear of Rugenbrink as he goes by. So a bad lap from Rugenbrink, who started it in 11th position, is now, he fell down to 17th. He does vulture that one spot there after Brain had his problems, so Rugenbrink up to 16th. Check in up front again. Here we go. Well, right now they've decided that Tuan Tran needs to do the work. Num drops back into second. Francisco, Hausman, and Bream. Don't be surprised if you see Errol Num drop all the way back to 5th. And now this is interesting. The last car in that train was Andrew Leach. It was a 5-car train, but he has decided to come in, do what my dad would call the early peel, late reveal. I don't know about this one, though.
I think he had some trouble. I think Leach had some trouble there, Soup. Yeah, we've got it. Director picked up a replay. Good job there, Joe Peak.
It was out of 130R. It was on the way to the Casio Triangle. Watch this. We talked about 130R. The car just gets away from him. Ouch. Sean, maybe the curbing there. You get up.
Yeah, maybe.
You know, tires on each side of the curbing.
Yeah, that certainly could have been a factor there. Does wind up with him in the pit, though.
Well, it was a 5-car train up front. Now it's a 4-car train. Remember, that is SimRacing. They are sitting at the bottom of the chart in the team championship. They're teamed up with Hofladays.
Hofladays going for it now. It just gets around Brem.
They get that done as they work their way out of Spoon. While this going on, the Portuguese driver, Francisco, has moved his way up into second. Let's drop back to fifth, though, real quick, because that's still heating up. Brame has come back around. Sean, I don't know if Brame and Hofladays, and if they're not dancing right now. This seems like the passing is certainly coming easy, and neither one of them really seem to be putting up a fight. Let's stay on this again. My gut is, as they come out of the Casio Triangle here, watch Hofladays and make the pass going out of the final corner into 1. And I don't think Vincent's going to really have much to say about it. Here it comes. You go on there, sir. I'll tuck back in behind you, and we'll keep putting in these fast lap times. If you can make that slingshot move and not affect your corner entry, if you can get it finished up before you get in there, you pick up 3 or 4 car lengths every time you do that move. So 4 cars up in front, 5 cars running from 5th to 9th. Uh-oh, heard something ugly. Marcus Gestalt, let's see if this is it.
Well, you know what? Gestalt smokes it going into 1 after picking up 2 spots. He loses them quickly. And you know what, Soup? I think he might have popped the motor.
Yeah, I think
Skippy.
so.
You're going to see Gestalt on the replay. He's going to get by. And going down into 1, he's going to just smoke it. And right here, there's that puff of smoke.
Pulled back the curtains on a GSRC broadcast. We use all the senses that we have, and both Sean and I heard that engine blew before we saw it. I'm working on my sense of smell to call one of these things. I can't quite figure that one out yet.
You know what, Soup? Good battle for 12th going on right now. Thomas Kick in front of Roger Prekin and Michelle Rugenbrink. Here's Rugenbrink again, still in 14th spot, but these 3 got a spirited battle. It does look like Kick starting to pull away just a bit. But these 3 have been latched together for a while here and have just now started trying to gain position on each other.
Thomas Kick, of course, the German driver, works in a strudel factory. He is the Strudelmeister. Look back there at Pritkin now, being passed by Rugenbrink. That's Pritkin on the inside. I'm going to pick a color. I'm going to call that citrus. There we go. That'll help me. On the outside, oh my goodness, Rugenbrink really wanting to get a corner entry in there. Pushed Pritkin over as far as he could to get that drive into the corner. Get the pass to Rugenbrink. .14th for Pritkin, Rugenbrink in 13th. Thomas Kick inside the top dozen. How about him? Started in 22nd position, Kick up 10 spots.
Yeah, he's having quite a run, Soup. Very impressive.
Our hard charger continues to be, maybe we can poke in on him, is Petkov. Where is Petkov racing right now? Roger is in 14th position. Oh, no, that's 17th. Armando Petkov started 30th. He is just ahead of Edgar Sanchinelli. Boy,
Soup,
attrition, huh?
Yeah, I was just about to say the attrition. Boy, pretty bad today here. Well, we've got only 23 cars still rolling.
That could be a little bit of an end of the season malaise too as well. Oh, let's go. Can we get a replay on second place Bastian Hausman? Diego Francisco going through the hairpin. I thought he was going to turn him. This was closer than I would have liked. Watch this into the hairpin. I thought he was going to get him. That was in third. That was Diego Francisco. Got in there. We'll go on board with the Portuguese driver.
That was intense.
I took my breath away and I jumped on the replay because I really thought I was using my little bit of my ESP. I thought this was going to turn him around, but no. So what that means is now, are you watching at home, Mama Jean? Well, for a minute there, Mama Jean was racing 1-2, but now Francisco has got around Bastian Hausman. Of course, Mama Jean. We'll stay on this replay a little bit. Look at that. There's the two Mama Jean drivers up there.
Yeah, I mean, side
by side.
So yeah, side by side down in the spoon.
And look at this. Now Diego has got into the lead. I told you, don't be surprised if you don't see Errol Num drop back, and that's what he's done. If there was a fifth place, if Andrew Leach was still in that train, he would be behind him as well. Num likes to get out early. What I think he likes to do is get out early, set the pace, and see, come on, stay with me, boys, we'll break away. And once he gets that train broken away, then he drops back in and starts to save fuel. Yeah, it's just, Sean, it's just not fair to be so talented and so strategic all in the same package.
True.
It's like the pretty girl that can also sing. I mean, come on.
Yeah, that's just not fair.
Yeah, spread it around a bit, man.
I'm still watching the battle for fifth. It's not a battle. These guys are right now working together, but Alpha Dazen having a little bit of trouble out there, experimenting out in the grass, a little bit of dirt. Still able to keep it in front of Brem. Everybody here being pretty patient, though, Sue. There have been some opportunities to overtake, but everyone deciding to stay in line here.
We are pretty confident that this is going to be a two-stop race. Just because of the thirsty nature of this track, I don't think that they'd be able to nurse it for one. Well, you never know. We'll see. I would imagine that most of the drivers will run long the first time and then do a splash and go. They could split it into thirds, though, with a pit window as big as this one's going to be. Window's open right now. Look at Hofladazen as now here comes another pass. Of course, it is Vincent Preen. Hofladazen is exciting to watch.
Well,
car sideways.
I'm just wondering if maybe the car is starting to struggle a little bit. He's been kind of hard on it. Those tires could be they could be screaming at him right now. The tire were usually not a big issue on this Skippy, but Hofladazen has been digging really hard here. Boy, he is right on the gearbox of Brem and comes now up on the inside here, heading down into turn one.
We look at that battle. You can see in the very back of the screen, we don't need to go there, that is Andy Moore. Poor guy's racing all by himself. We'll wait for another long Dougie Beard camera shot, and you can see Andy Moore. It's kind of fun just to see Andy. You gonna get to the screen there, Andy? Well, he's all by himself in 10th. Sometimes that's just how the cards play out. He's got nobody to race with.
Hey, you know what?
Go ahead.
I'm just gonna say, first of all, love the livery on that machine. An all-time favorite of mine. Andy's just fine right where he's at. He's got no trouble in front, no trouble behind. You keep digging, buddy. Right there, up 6 spots, sitting in 10th.
I only use my Thor Heyerdahl reference in this series because there's so many Norwegians and they know who Thor Heyerdahl is. He's the guy who would build boats out of twigs and rafts and try to sell it across the ocean to make a point. Right now, Andy Moore out there doing his best Thor Heyerdahl impression all by himself. Hopefully the twigs don't get soggy and it sinks. That's what seems to happen to Thor every time.
Boy, things got a little dicey back there in 7th, 8th, 9th place. Luger and Kamara and Bamber all almost got together. out of the hairpin. Boy, that was a pretty tricky moment for those 4 or 5 drivers there.
Well, you know, those 3 guys that you talked about, Kamara and Bamber and the guy in the middle there, Lundgren, they've been just kind of watching the show that Bremen and Hoffendaisen have been putting on, swapping positions the whole time. That's that 5-car train. The second train. It's 4th, 5th, 6th, and 8th.
Riding on board with Lundgren right here. He's kind of sitting in the rocking chair right now.
Those guys are doing all the work up there. He's saving fuel. The leaders come around. They are going to work. Not that it really matters, but we'll tell you what laps, how many laps they put in this. We're working lap number 11 now.
Bremen had a little bit of a moment there in the Casio Triangle. It's brought Lundgren right alongside him now. Oh, Lundgren out in the grass there. Careful, Joachim.
Pushing the envelope of the track boundaries. Boy, is this going to get settled down there? They continue to race. How is that going to play out? There, they get it worked out. Okay, we talked about more. Let's run through the field. Let's go back to 11th position. This is this 3-car battle here. Rugenbrink, Downs, and Kick, the Strudelmeister. Again, they were... Whoa, that is Downs getting right up behind Rugenbrink. Let's go ahead and follow these guys all the way around to the hairpin and see if Downs makes a dive into the hairpin. Boy, he is right on. In fact, I don't think he's going to wait for the hairpin. He's going to try to do it going into Degner. Really not a passing zone.
No.
I guess if you could make the pass anywhere. Here's where I would think you would do it. Let's see if Rugenbrink takes a defensive line. He's hugging the left side, and that's number. Now let's see where he does it here. He's going to leave the inside open, but he's too far back. They got Mark King, a lap car up in front. Nothing going on there. I have to laugh every time I say that's not a passing zone. I go back to one of our early commentators here in GSRC, Kevin Brown, that said any place on the track is a passing zone if you can make the path.
That's right. Roger Pricken just gets himself a pass.
Yeah.
That's it on John Richard. Gets that position away from him there, up to 14th.
Remember, Frederick Neptune was in that battle. He begins to fall off a little bit now, down to 16th position behind Pritkin and Richard. I don't know if that. Let's go with Richard. I'll go with Richard. It's Johnny. Seems like. Let's stay on this a minute because here comes Richard again.
Ooh.
My gosh.
Didn't leave a lot of margin. Oh, boy, takes the nose right there off of Roger. Roger coming back up alongside.
Oh, I don't like the feel of this one. They go through the triangle. Here comes Neptune back into play. Oh, my goodness. I got to look to see where these guys on the globe are racing out of. Pritkin is out of the Benelux group. Richards is out of Northwest. There's always worry about netcode. They are looking how Neptune now, right, and he's going to force Richard high, and Neptune gets the pass made. Great racing going on all through the field, Sean.
Yeah, there really is, Super. You keep asking yourself, what's next here?
Oh, and there goes Pritkin. He got loose out of 2. He saves it. He gathers it up.
Boy, great job of saving the car right there. Got plenty of room behind him. Nobody threatening back there.
Let's see if we can get an onboard, not from the car directly behind. How about from Richard on that one if we can? Because I think Richard actually got into the back of Neptune to avoid the incident. We're going to go onboard. He's third in line now. There goes Neptune. You see Pritkin get loose. Neptune gets off the gas. Boink. Oh, fun stuff. Gotta love the absolute beginner Formula Neagle. Our contract calls for us to put the camera on the leaders every once in a while. Sean, don't even look. Who do you think it's going to be? Have you looked yet?
Bastian Hausman?
Bastian Hausman. Okay, there you go. It's really just kind of a who wants to be out in front at the time.
It is.
Hausman, Francisco, Tran, and once again, Num. Now, here's what's going to happen with Errol Num. He's going to be happy in fourth until he decides it's time to pit. That's when you'll see him move to the front. So he'll gain all those positions, and then he'll pit. So when you see that happen, you know it's about pit stop time.
Well, Pack B is decided to start racing. Oh, Haflidazen pulls off. And so does Henrik goes with him too. Bastian Hausman.
How far? There's 41 minutes out of 70. What have they gone? That would be 29 minutes. That's just about where I would thought it would be.
It was 12 laps on that run.
So now they come in, and this where it can be kind of misleading. You do not have to fill it up all the way. If you know there's another stop, you can short fill and come in and take a longer stop. Pay me now, pay me later. Oh, right now Kamara is doing a pay me later. Pay me now. He's really been in there a long time. Now he rolls. Bastian Hausman has pitted from that lead train. He's out first. Oh, I don't like this. I don't like Bastian getting out of the lead. But you know, Sean, we talked about it. You can see that Bastian was putting in those hot laps. He had opened up about 6 or 7 car lengths. So I guess he decided it was time to come in. That leaves Francisco, Tran, and Num out there now. You gotta worry that you're going to be left behind if you're Hausman. Those guys are so fast.
Yeah, and the second pack is left with Lundgren, Brem, and Bamber. So a bit of a shakeup here at the top.
Let's look and see if Hoflandazen came out anywhere close. He was racing with Kamara. Kamara about 25 car lengths back. Well, let's do it in time. How about 1.4 seconds? To be more precise. Remember, those guys were in that second train. They were part of that 5-car group that included Brem, Lundgren, and Bamber. Hausman out there all by himself. The interval from the leader, Francisco, back to Hausman, 40.5 seconds. Seems like an eternity.
It does. It is an eternity here. Okay, Pack B coming in, Soup. All 3 of them together. Lundgren, Brem, Bamber.
Interesting. Not the case for the 3 leaders. They stay out. So let's go ahead. We'll look at those, and we'll pick up. I imagine that Hausman should be able to get by these guys pretty comfortably.
Andy Moore follows too, by the way, Soup.
Hausman now down into the Casio Triangle. This will give us a little idea of how Hausman's pit stop went.
Actually, they're all following behind. Rugenbrink comes in. Thomas Kick.
Okay, there goes Bastian. He goes by. Now, the real question is, where is Hoflandazen right now? Hoflandazen just
staying out
of that. Well, no, he's already taken his stop.
That's right. I'm sorry. Yes, he has. Yeah.
So now is he going to come out in relationship to Bamber? Bamber, they're all rolling. Those 3 guys are coming out.
Ooh, he's got the momentum, obviously.
He got him.
To 1. Not by much, Soup. Not by much at all. Look at that. They've already got the momentum going down.
So, the 5 cars that were racing together, we worried about them, they're all back together. Hoflandazen, Bamber, Lundgren, Brem, and Kamara. Meanwhile, our 3 leaders out in front, Francisco, Tran, and Num, they've got to come in this time. Well, maybe. Again, that interval back to Bastian Hausman now. 41, almost 42 seconds. Hausman is losing touch. I don't know if he's going to be able to get out with these guys. We look at Those three guys right now are leaders. They've got to come in now. Through the Casio Triangle. It's Francisco in the lead. The Portuguese driver says, "My car is thirsty." The Dutch driver, Tuan Tran, says, "I am also thirsty." Woo! And the Roland Estonian says, "Me too." Boy, and Tran almost got in the back of Francisco, didn't he?
He really smoked him in there, didn't he?
All right, now Tran will magically drive his car through Francisco there. Remember, when you're in pit lane, they let you do a little bit of that transparency there. They drive through. Num takes the spot at the very front. These guys just want to get in and out. Again, you can be fooled. 2 stops. You don't have to fill it up all the way.
Ashman in the Casio, out of the Casio Triangle now.
Looks like he's got a long way to go. They're still not rolling.
No, miss.
Wait a minute. Num is rolling. All right, I'll tell you what has happened right here. Look for Aero Num to pay the price a little bit later. I told you, pay me now, pay me later. What he's done is short-filled. He's in and out. He's left those guys behind. He says, "I'm the pole sitter. I'm the fastest. I'm tired of you parasites staying on my coattails. I'm going to go out here and run some hot laps. My tank is not as full as yours. My car's lighter. I'm going to leave you behind." He thinks he's faster on his own than the guys teamed up behind him. And look at that. It is Francisco, Hausman, and Tran. Hausman was able to get back in that group.
Yeah, Hausman able to get right back in front of his teammate there. Mama Jean got that pit stop cycle just dialed in there, Soup.
Aeronum's stop, 12.1 seconds in the box. Francisco, almost 20. Hausman, 19. Tran, 20. That's the difference. Well, do you remember the guy who qualified second, had trouble early? Pierce Cocky, he's up to 10th.
Yeah, he is, Soup. He has got a big group just in front of them. He is about to catch this train. He is faster than the group ahead of him.
And he did not short fill. His stop was a horrible 26 seconds. Might have maybe had a little bit of repairs that had to be done. If he can get to... Oh, let's go to our hard charger, Arnaldo Petkov. He was in 19th position. I think he looped it. I think this is current, and now he took a tow. There it is. Remember, he was having such a great run? And he is in the pits right now. Oh, maybe they're thinking that maybe he got help going around. I wasn't able to see it. Oh, yeah, you know what? It happened in the... Yeah, actually... It happened a couple corners back before he went around. It was made some contact with Dode Hoskins. Looked like, yeah, and that probably damaged the car. And that's why Petkov had to take the tow, and that's why he had the spin and the tow, and he's going to call it a... Well, I don't know if he's actually left the sim, but yeah, he's done.
Taking it behind the wall, Soup.
So another one... falls to the attrition here. Last car on the lead lap, I believe it's Edgar Sanchinelli. That's what well, I could be wrong about that.
Yeah, Ari Sejas.
There we go. Sejas racing in 21st position. Got about 2 seconds to get up to Mills. Go ahead, Sean.
I still think the group that is having more fun is the one that starts with fifth place with Hafladays in there. He is boy, he's really got the tongue hanging out on his Skippy, man.
Look at that long Dougie Beard camera shot, though. You can see here comes Sharkville. Pierce Cocky. Let me give you a little bit of interval. I did that again. an interval between Kamara and Cocky, 1.6 seconds, 9th to 10th. We're right on board with Cocky. Boys and girls, if you're scoring at home, get out your clipboards. I'll give you this other interval as well. Numb to Hausman, 8.2 seconds. Right on board. Look at, boy, that is just like, that's like a carrot in front of a horse, isn't it? Boy, you just
Cocky. Hey, add your cliches. Cocky white knuckling it right now, just sitting there singing, "Here, kitty, 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 here, kitty, kitty, kitty."
Well, it's one thing to try to run down one position. Well, I can get one position. If he gets up there, he's thinking, I can get 5 positions. Remember, he qualified second. He certainly has the pace to run those guys down. He's doing it the old-fashioned way, all by himself.
He's got to really have his head on the swivel right now and watch that these guys don't mess it up in front of him. Bram had a close moment, almost got into and through Bamber's car. Just locks up the brakes to avoid doing it. But there's been some close moments in this pack. And look up front there. Lundgren could have looked to the inside and taken away here temporarily from Haflidaisen.
I'd like to do a rundown through the field, but I don't want to do it quite yet because I like this action that we're looking at right now. Lundgren, Haflidaisen, Bamber, Brem, Kamara. Oh, it's just a matter of time before Shortfield gets there now. That interval 1.1 second, under a second now. You know, this is kind of like the guy who comes late to the party. I don't know if he knows the rules of this, you know, the etiquette. These guys have been very well behaved, these 5 guys. Put Cocky into the mix. It might shake up the chemistry. They've been playing so well together. Boy, my goodness, Cocky, he's so wide out of Degner, too. He's just really racing that car. And here he is.
He is here. Welcome to the party.
And these guys, one of the beauties of league racing here on the iRacing service is you get to race with the guys over and over. They all know who he is. They all know he's the second fastest qualifier. And they all know he really doesn't belong in this group. Boy, Cocky slides that car in there as well. Let's stay on it and see what is it? What's interesting? Go ahead, Sean.
Just Haflidaisen up there, really, really just off into the grass, doing his own thing, man.
And right now, Haflidaisen looking. Oh, that's Bamber actually looking to get her. Bamber in 3rd position. What'll be interesting is, and let's assume that Cocky does make his way through these 5 guys. Can he leave them behind? I don't think so. I think this is going to be a 6-car battle now to the very end. 28 minutes left of racing. Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to run down the top 4 real quick.
Cocky just pulls off.
You know what? He knows he's faster than these guys. He knows he's in the pit window. There's no reason for him to be racing with these guys. He's not going to be able to leave them behind. Even if he were to get through them, it's going to take him time to do it. And then when he got to the lead, they just hang on to his coattails. So he's going to come in, take his stop now, run some hot laps, and then when they make their pits, he'll be able to pass them without even having to do it on the track. I like the strategy, Pierce. Just put in enough fuel, Shortfield. That's what you got to do. Well, with that happening, why don't we run down... Sean, I'm going to take the top 4, then you run down those next 4. It's Aero Numb up in front. 8.6 seconds. Boys and girls, last time I told you to get out your clipboard, it was 8.1. He is fast. That's why he didn't want to race with those guys. Then you get back to the 3 guys that are trying to run him down. Francisco, Hausman, and Tran. Now you're thinking, well, they're never going to make up 8 seconds. Remember, Numb took less fuel the first time in. He's going to have a longer stop. These guys they'll be able to have a much faster pit stop, and that's how hopefully they can get back close to the Rolling Estonians' coattails. Okay, Sean, who's left in that 4-car battle behind them?
Okay, well, it's actually a
5-car, yeah.
It is, and it's Haflidaisen leading them right now. They're in 5th. Joachim Lundgren sits in 6th. 7th, Neil Bamber. Vincent Brim in 8th, and Hendrik Kamara, they're in 9th. So these 5 have been locked up for quite some time. Piers had caught them, but then he went in the pit. They're still locked up together. Hendrik a little bit off track behind him, but he'll catch back up to him. They've been pretty faithful to each other throughout the race, and I don't expect much to change yet. A few position changes here and there. It's mainly it's been Haflidays and kind of up and down through that little pack. Is let's just say he hasn't been perfect every trip around, and sometimes that's come at a little bit of a cost in position. But he does lead this group and leads them well right now as they all get out of the Casio triangle there and come back up the front stretch again.
We could stay on these guys the entire race, but let's drop back to 10th position to Mr. Lonely here out there singing an Eric Carmen tune. The nephew of the famous actor Roger Moore. The R stands for Roger there. That is Andy Moore. Of course, Roger Moore, famous 007 actor.
Is he really?
That's my story. I'm sticking with it until somebody tells me otherwise. He's in 10th position. Now, right behind Moore in 11th spot is Thomas Kick. And again, I'm not sure if Thomas Kick actually works in a strudel factory. He won't tell me, so.
Man, Rugenbrink just had a really hard shunt coming out of 130R.
Oh, my goodness. You know, that looks real similar to the incident we had there before. I don't know. Boy, the car.
He's still sitting there, too.
No, that doesn't seem right. This looks like hardware.
You might have something there, Soup. He's still stuck in the middle of the track.
Just going.
Just got out.
Yeah, now he works but he's clear of 130R. I mean, the car looks stable, and then it just turns. That doesn't look right. That's a shame. Yeah, that is a shame. So another one is gone.
In a race where the attrition has been so high, it's a shame that he had to what looks to be possible hardware failure end his race there. Hardware connection, one or the other.
Heart failure would be really serious. Glad it wasn't that. Well, it might have been that. We don't know for sure. Let's hope not.
Oh, okay. Haflidays gives up that spot again. That time it was to Hausman. Now here comes, what is that, Bamber moving through here. Excuse me, get out of the way.
Yeah.
Hausman all the way out there on the turf.
Okay, get out your clipboards again, boys and girls. I'm going to give you another number here. 40.2 seconds. That's the interval from Haflidays back to Cocky.
Nome and Francisco in.
All right. Now, Nome's will be longer. Francisco's will be shorter. I still think Nome should be able to get out ahead of Francisco. If I was Francisco, I would, as soon as I saw Nome roll, I would roll. I would not care about what fuel I needed. And that's kind of what he does. Yeah. But unfortunately, he had about 5 stall head start on him.
Kamara is also in.
Now, what'll be interesting is if Cocky can get around. Cocky's stop was about 20 seconds. That's about normal. Kamara is rolling. Cocky is full song down the straight. But Kamara is just coming out there. I think Kamara going to get out well in front of Cocky. So any plans that Cocky had to do it the easy way, that's not going to work. He's going to have to actually get around these guys. Just to follow up on Nome. Nome is out 2 seconds ahead of Francisco. Nome stopped that time. Well, this is interesting. 20 seconds. Francisco's was... Where are you? I'll give it to you in a second if I can find him. Let me correct myself. Nome's was 19. Francisco's was 10.
Yeah.
Nome has really been just crushing this series. He races also in the MX5 World Tour. Not having it quite his way down there like he is here. There's a guy named Sonny Canchin, who is a force in the MX5s. Our director says, get Sonny over here. Yeah, Sonny, he's a one-trick pony. He doesn't get outside of that MX5 as far as I know. Although, in the interview we heard yesterday, sounded like he might be looking to span out a bit. Mama Jean cars running 1 and 2 right now. She's 95, living all by herself in her home in Lakewood, California. My 95-year-old mother-in-law, she watches these religiously. If you don't know the story, she wanted, Soup, honey, can you teach me how to drive on iRacing? As a courtesy to all the iRacers, I decided, how about we let you own a team instead? That made her very happy. Good for her. Good for all you iRacers as well. Right now, Mama Jean, the purple and black attack, racing 1 and 2. We look now, that's that 3-car battle.
Yeah, and Hofladezen still having a little bit of fun here with Bamber. Brem's in.
Now we're going to see how he fares in relation to, should be like Kamara. Kamara's coming. This could be close. Brem is out, and Kamara has a full song, and he's going to sing See You Later. Brem says, nope, it's a duet, baby. Oh, Brem is really loose coming out, but he gets it straight. Brem out in front, Kamara behind, 2 seconds ahead of Cocky. Sean, I got a hunch when it's all said and done. Hofladezen, Bamber, Lundgren, they're all going to be together. That seems those 5 guys.
Amazing how things work themselves out on a racetrack. Oh, Thomas Kick with trouble. Kick is around. He's trying to get it straightened out. Ooh, who is that just got by him there? Oh, it was Vincent Brem.
Oh, my gosh.
Oof.
Now, I love the Strudelmeister, but you got to keep the car locked up, buddy. We can just stay on this. That's a great camera angle. Stay on that one right there, and you can see him start to move the car.
Watch this onboard with Vincent Brem, folks. It doesn't get much closer than this right here, Sue.
Jeez. It was because there was plenty of room until Kick started to roll the car. Oh! I love the Strudelmeister, but keep that car locked up until the guys get around you. And that's so hard to do. You know, I say it seems so simple. If you're not an iRacer, wait till you're out there and you've been racing for 30 minutes and you've had a great race and you've spun the car. All you want to do, every fiber in your body says, go, go, go. All right, Hausman and Tran continue to race. They're coming up behind Kevin Mills. They've got, how far back to Numb? Oh, only 28 seconds back to those guys. Boy, they are really going to be hard-pressed to get in and out.
Yeah, Arrow right now has nothing on track bothering him at all. Soup, he is free to run as he may. So what does that mean? Well, he continues to pick time up on him, a lot of time.
So just to set the stage, you have Hausman and Tran. They have yet to make their stop. Then you have those next guys, Hofladezen, Lundgren, and Bamber. Remember? They're looking to have some fast laps so they can stay ahead of Brem and Kamara and Pierce Cocky as well. Then you got Arrow Numb, who I think is going to eventually inherit the lead when everybody comes in. I mean, it seems like there's no way he couldn't. He's got a 3-second gap on Diogo Francisco. Francisco's only hope, I think he has no hope of catching Numb. He's just got to hope that he's far enough ahead and has enough fuel that he can maybe not be in the same battle with Hausman and Tran when they eventually come in. Have I confused you? I think that took care of everything. I can report the Thomas Kick after that little spin that scared the heck out of Vincent Brem. He's got the car back out there, racing in 13th position. looking for the guys that have still need to come in. Is it going to be this time?
And the leaders are going to go by again there, Soup.
One more time for the purple and black attack. Remember, Mama Jean Racing looks like they are a lock to win the team championship. Aero Numb races for Bush Fink Pink. I think they're going to finish in second. And of course, we talked about it early in the broadcast, but it's fun to announce that Aero Numb races with also Frederick Neptune.
Well, Aero right now is still catching the three drivers in front of him at a rapid pace. They all obviously still have to come in for another stop here soon. Look at that on screen there, Pierce Cocky.
Boy, he ran him down. He's got around Kamara, and now he's working on Vincent Brim. And there he goes. Let's see if he can leave him behind. He has left Kamara behind. Cocky racing for Draco Racing. They are fourth in the points right now. And I think Cocky's going to do it. I think, boy, that car is fast. So up to 10th. And now the question is he fast enough when Hofflandays and Lundgren and Bamber decide to bring it in? Will Cocky be able to jump them? Here comes Roger Pritkin on the lead lap. And it looks like he will cycle out, about 20th or so.
Pritkin, another driver with a great livery. It's the Buzzin' Hornets livery on that car there. Soup. Remember the Buzzin' Hornets?
I don't know the Buzzin' Hornets.
In Formula One? The Jordan team. Jordan.
I know the old Jordan team. Yeah.
Yeah.
So another one takes a stop. Who has yet to come in here further? We can run through these stops here. Looks like the two leaders still need to come in, as well as that triple little team of Hofflandays and Lundgren and Bamber.
Yeah, and they're on the back straight now here. Hofflandays in.
Interesting.
Yeah, very interesting.
Just one. So let's look for Cocky. Cocky just heading into 130R now. He's got about a 6-7 car length lead over Brim. Hofflandays hits a stall. Remains in his stall. Cocky into the final corner. Hofflandays rolling. Cocky is coming. Hofflandays gets it out. He's going to get out. That's the lap car of Frederick Neptune. Well, actually, it's for position. Neptune still needs to make that stop. Hofflandays out in front, 2.2 seconds over Cocky. But unfortunately for Michael, he's got Neptune in front of him.
Yeah, good luck. Good luck here.
And Neptune's not getting a blue flag. As far as Neptune knows, so this could be a battle for position. It's
a battle for position indeed, and Neptune not giving any quarter here.
Now, in Hofflandays' defense, he's saying, Frederick, come on, you have one more pit stop to make. I'm done. Let me get there. Neptune going to race him. Neptune saying, I am teamed up with Aero Numb. He expects nothing less than me to race you hard. Whoa!
You know what? You're absolutely right. That is the attitude any teammate should have.
And again, you have to also remember Neptune might be racing somebody who's on the other side of the track right now that's made his 2 stops. So he can't afford to give up time. My gosh, let's stay on this a little bit. Hofflandays oh my goodness. Neptune tighter than a fat man in a scuba suit. Looking for a way around. Down into Spoon. I think now we should be able to do it. He brakes late. Hofflin-Dason can really get that car sideways.
Yeah, he can, man. Oh, boy.
He's going to lose. Hofflin-Dason's going to lose all his momentum as he took that car, spent more time out in the sand than the guy
Hausman's
from
in.
Baywatch. Yeah.
Hausman is in. So is Joachim Lundgren.
Oh. Okay, Hofflin-Dason chops off the nose of Neptune. Now Hofflin-Dason into the Casio Triangle. Has Tran of those guys come in yet? They have not.
They have not, no.
Okay. Oh, and Neptune finally. Hausman has had an issue. He almost lost it. Hofflin-Dason is through now. Let's see if we can pick up the guys that were in the pits.
Hofflin-Dason almost ran him over.
Yeah, Lundgren coming out ahead of Hofflin-Dason. So it's, as they run now, it's Lundgren, Hofflin-Dason, Cocky, Brame, Kamara. That's 5. We're missing one more. Where's Bamber? Bamber's still out. Bambi, it's time to come in. So if my dad used to say, Cinderella saying related the ball.
Boy, Lundgren really nailing it out of that pit stop suit. Sits there in 7th. Hofflin-Dason can't catch him right now.
The interval from our leader, Tuan Tran, to Errol Num, 25 seconds. Tran only needs to come in and take 10 minutes worth of fuel.
I don't think you can go pole to pole in the pit lane there quick enough, though, Soup.
Now, Hausman has taken his second stop. He's come out behind Num and Francisco. Hausman about 2 seconds behind Francisco. But his teammate, Tuan Tran, Tran's notorious for running this thing long. He's got to come in this time. Well, he's got the whole lap to do. Remember, last time they were here, Tuan Tran nipped Errol Num by 1/10 of a second to get the win. That was back in season 9.
Neil Bamber pulls off. Bamber coming in by himself.
All right, let's pick up who's leading that group. I guess it's right now it's Lundgren who is up. No, it's Hofflin-Dason. Oh my goodness, Bamber's got to hurry. Hofflin-Dason through the Casio chicane, Casio Triangle. Oh, I'm a little worried that Bambi is going to be left in the meadow here.
He's away.
He's out. And he's out first. Meanwhile,
here they come. Oh, Hofflin-Dason.
Whoa! Just in front of Bream. Getting on the binders is Lundgren trying to stay off of it.
Well, Hofflin-Dason and Cocky definitely made contact right there.
Yeah. So, Bamber out in front by 2 seconds over, who is it now? I guess it's going to be over, is that Cocky?
Cocky, yes, in front of Cocky. Soup, don't look now, but we're just about to hit the 8-minute mark. Maybe about 4.5 laps left in this race.
24 seconds, the interval from Tran to Num. Tran has to just come in, get enough fuel to go 7.5 minutes. You know, it's the last race of the season. His position is probably safe in 3rd. If I'm Tuan Tran, I come in, I take fuel until Num exits that final corner, then I roll. Here we go, Tran through the chicane. He's got to come in this time. Ha 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 ha! Soup! I don't have to come in till I'm ready.
He pokes his chest out at you and says, yeah, I'll show you.
Can he nurse it? Can he nurse it around? How much? When you have a 25-second cushion to play with? No. Well, with that going on, let's go back to that battle for what is really second position. It's Bamber, I guess it's, well, 6th overall, I guess. Bamber, Cocky, Hofladezen, Brehm, Lundgren, and Kamara. Boy, Bamber, there's no reason Bamber should be so far in front. His stop 10.2 seconds.
Andy Moore in. Andy's kind of had that race going on by himself today. He comes in for his final stop.
Dun 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 dun. Sorry, I had to finish it a little bit in my head the whole time.
Hofladezen and Brehm is around. Oh.
You can only dance the tango in a china shop so long before you break some porcelain. My goodness, Jochen Lundgren almost got into him. Jochen Lundgren, look at this. He's around and, oh!
Boy, what a great job by Lundgren there of getting on the brakes and keeping it under control and squirreling his way around that. On board the Joachim here. Gonna get tense.
What you can't see is he had right behind him, he had Kamara, so he couldn't lift too much or he would have got punted. Good news for Brehm is he does not lose the position. They had a nice cushion. Meanwhile, Tuan Tran, the Dutch driver, comes around and now comes in. 5 minutes to go. 5 minutes. He only needs, what is that, 3 laps of fuel at the most? No, probably by the time the pit stop's done, maybe he only needs 2 laps. I'll tell you how much fuel you need. You need as much fuel to get out in front of Arrow.
Here comes Noam. Out of the Casio Triangle. He's digging hard. Car is all over those curbs.
It doesn't look good. Tran is in. Oh, Tran overshoots his pit.
Oh, boy.
He has to back up.
Here comes Zero. He's passing Tran, sitting in the pits.
So now the question is, where is Francisco? There goes Francisco as well. Tran now beginning to roll. There goes his teammate, Bastian Hausmann. And Tuan, the good news is, Andrew Leach crashed long ago, so you're safe in 4th. Oh, if only he could have gone those extra 2 laps. So now the leaders are all separated. 5 seconds from Aeronum back to Diego Francisco. Francisco 4 seconds back to Bastian Hausmann. Hausmann with about another 3 seconds back to Tuan Tran. So really, that's settled down. Let's go to the one we've been watching, Sean. Let's go to, and it looks like Cocky and Bamber. Yeah. Oh, look at that. Cocky, remember, Bamber got out first, so Cocky's got him.
Yeah, Cocky had just gotten by him here a little bit ago. Still hanging on. Bamber hadn't had much form since he got by.
Hofladezen back in 7th. About 1.4 seconds behind Bamber.
You know what? Hofladezen lucky to just even still be in this race. There have been several moments today where I thought his race was about to abruptly end, and it didn't. So, great drive by him. Just he's still drifting that thing.
This 5-car train finally broke up a bit. Can we go back to 8th? This is Joachim Lundgren and Henrik Kamara. You can hear the red-shafted Japanese gilded flicker on our roof of our broadcast booth. Get out of here, you dang bird. Yeah. Lundgren and Kamara.
Hate it when they just fly in like that.
No, this is the time of night that they come out here in Japan, right? These evening times. There they are. Vincent Brehm in 10th, all by himself. Andy Moore in 11th. Let's run down a little bit farther. About Frederick Neptune in 12th, racing by himself as well.
It's got to be tough to make that adjustment after you've been driving in, battles all day, and then you find yourself alone on the track after that last pit stop.
All the battles after that have all stretched out. So let's focus maybe on the best one that we have now. And I would say it's not Cocky and Bamber. Let's go back and look at this one here between Lundgren and Kamara.
I think you're all over it, Soup. It is a good battle because I don't think Kamara has given up at all on this.
No. Just under 2 minutes of racing to go. Errol Numb is working his way through the S's. I think this is probably the penultimate lap. Maybe not. Continue to look at these guys. Here comes the pass.
Gonna try and pull it off here.
Oh boy, that car is really loose.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, he took it in deep, but then he couldn't get any kind of drive off on it. Whoa! Had a little silly there from Kamara.
Wow. Kamara fighting back. Fighting back. Now he's got it.
Kamara gets the spot. Lundgren back. Up and down.
I get a Degner 1 and Degner 2 right. Here we go.
I think they would stay in line here, make the move out of Degner 2 into the hairpin. Lundgren trying. Oh, he's too close. He's going to lose any momentum off of here. He got too close into him. That's going to cost him. Kamara's going to be safe into the hairpin.
He had to jam that brake pedal real quick.
Plenty of time, though. They can do it. So many passing spots here in the Skippy. Do it into Spoon. Do it out of Spoon. The question is, as the clock now with 22 seconds left, our leader is just coming into the Casio triangle now. This might be the checkered flag being shown. We don't really get to see that to the very end. Working his way through the triangle. Let's call it like it's the last lap. Errol Numb, 3, 2, 1. It says 0. Is he seeing the white flag? White flag now. There it is. One more lap before the season is over.
Oh, Bastian Hausman had a connection issue.
Oh!
Just dropped out.
Have one extra laps. So that moves Tran up to third. Bastian Hausman will fall down. Let's go back and check on Kamara and Lundgren now. Now they're going one more lap. Let's hope everyone has enough petrol. This one's not going to be decided. I would think maybe the pass would be made into the Casio triangle the last time around. They could swap 2 or 3 times before then. Look at the defensive line that Kamara is taking. He goes in a little bit shallow into the corner, and that costs him on the exit.
It just made me a little nervous there.
Yeah, no, I thought he was going off too. He took that in so deep. Now they go through the technical section. Not much going to happen here. Not missing anything on the track anywhere. Everybody else separated by a good, fair distance. This is our best battle, so we'll follow this all the way around until we have to call the win. Now they come out of Dunlop on the throttle into the Degner brothers. Going through the younger and then the older brother beneath the overpass, which I'm hoping they will demolish now that we have Rallycross. I think putting a jump there would be fun. Out of the hairpin.
Maybe they could have Godzilla come in and do some land clearing there for him.
So good. Kamara really starting to pull away. Where is our leader? Well, he's coming through the Casio triangle right now. The final round, Season 7, Round 7. His 4th championship goes to the Roland Estonian, Errol Numb. Rookie sensation, Hugo Francisco gets 2nd. Season 6 champ, Tuan Tran, going to get 3rd. Assume that Cocky, Bamber, Hofflandays, and all finish in that order. Let's go back and look at Kamara. He's got about 8 car lengths. I think he's got it.
I do, unless he makes a big mistake here in the exit of the Casio. And he doesn't. He keeps it under him. And there we go. A little wiggle, a little wave there in his competition. Lundgren fought hard, but it wasn't enough. Lundgren going to come home 8th, 7th to Kamara there.
Vincent Bream is going to follow in behind these guys. To honor the season, let's go ahead and run down all the rest of the order. The guys finishing on the lead lap. Our timing and scoring might be a little bit off. Don't be confused. Andy Moore going to follow in next. Frederick Neptune, I believe, is going to be linked into 11th.
He is soup, and he's going to make his way through the Casio triangle one last time. Secure his place in 11th spot today.
Through the triangle now, Thomas Kick. I like these guys. They got them nicely spaced out for him. Kick comes in 12th. We can go back, 13th.
John Richard. Matthew Downs making his way through the triangle right now.
They are almost as if they have positioned themselves so they get the same amount of screen time.
It's like a high school graduation. Yeah. Everybody making their way across stage, getting their diplomas.
That's it. Edgar Santinelli, thank you. Next time, if they could do it in alphabetical order, would be even more polite. I think Santinelli is the last one.
Yeah.
So with that done, the racing is over here in Japan, but our broadcast is far from done. What we'll do is take a short break, come back to run down the entire finishing order, talk to some of the drivers before we put a lock not only on the gate here at Suzuka, but on the season as well. Back in a few. Welcome back to the Global Sim Racing Channel's coverage of the Absolute Beginner League's Formula Neagle Season 7 Grand Finale, and we had a nice race here at Suzuka. Let's run down the finishing order. Boy, seems like I've said this a lot. This is his 5th win of the season, and it goes to the Roland Estonian Errol Num. He had already clinched the championship, but he finishes up Season 7 on a high note, looking to some momentum for Season 8. Want to talk about something to look forward to for next season? How about this rookie from Portugal, Diogo Francisco? Boy, he is fast. He is exciting. He comes home in 2nd, ahead of Season 6 champ Tuan Tran, who rounds out the podium. Pierce Cockey, he was fast, qualified 2nd, had an incident, spent the entire race working his way through the field. He got all but 3 of them as he comes home in 4th, just ahead of Neil Bamber, Mikael Hoflandaisen, Hendrik Kamara, Joachim Lundgren, and Vincent Brim. Those guys all put on a great show as they battled sometimes 6 deep. Andy Moore comes home in what would that be, 10th spot. Over to you, Sean.
All right, Frederick Neptune, 11th, right where he started. Thomas Kick up 10 spots. He'll finish 12th. John Richard, 13th. Matthew Downs, 14th. Edgar Sancinelli, 15th for him. 16th, going to go to Dode Hoskins. Roger Pricken, 17th. 18th, Ari Sejas. And Bastian Hausman, going to finish 19th. Kevin Mills rounds out your top 20 suit.
Scott Whitestein in the blackjack position. And then we get to the guys that all had trouble early. Mikkel Rosenbrink, Arnaldo Petkoff. Remember, Petkoff was our hard charger for a while until he got taken out by the track. Mark King, Marcus Gestalt, Josh Pinkey and the Brain in 26th position. Andrew Leach, he was running up front in 5th for a while. He fell off. Ludwig Sauer, Mark Riddell, Christopher Hancock. I'll finish this to the rest of these guys out here. Tony Matthews, David Third Degree Burns did not take the grid. Neither did Flores Bouchard or Michael Bittman. Okay, there you have it. I believe we had 31 cars take the grid. And now, can we go over to do some season-ending interviews? And again, I'm not very good at negotiating the door here on the GSRC interview booth. You're going to bring in, I imagine you've brought in my the winner of the race today? I
have. Errol Num is here, Soup.
Errol, congratulations on the win. Let's talk strategy. Led early. This is what now tell me if I'm wrong on this. Your strategy is to get out and lead early and see if you can break the pack away from the rest of the guys. That kind of what you have in mind first off?
Yeah, and also to get the pack smaller.
Right, exactly. So the guys who can stay with you, they get to keep playing, and there were 5 of them. And then actually we lost least, then there's 4. Then I think after you separate them a little bit, then I just think you decide to go back a little bit and save some fuel. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
And then finally, because I think I'm inside your head, I've been studying. Then finally, whenever it's a 2-stop race, I think you like to short fill because you think you're faster. If you can break the pack that way, then you can run some hot laps all by yourself and you lose them. Is that right?
Yeah, and I can check the pit times too, so I know how much fuel to take.
And there you have it, and that's exactly how it played out. It's a pleasure. Sean and I just don't think it's fair that you should be fast and also have such great strategy technique.
Oh, maybe not.
Congratulations. Let's go to the big picture now. 2018, you never know what your real life schedule is like. You're going to try it one more time? Try for a 5th crown? You're going to maybe test out somewhere else?
Yeah, I think I will try more.
That's good. We're glad to see you. What we're going to do here on Global Sim Racing Channel, we're going to secretly see if we can find some aliens to come in here, give you a hard time. Congratulations on the win. You got 5 wins this season. Pleasure to watch you race. Errol Num.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
The Roland Estonian. Now, unlike we talked about Sonny Ketchen, who specializes in those MX-5s, we've seen Errol race a lot of stuff. It would be fun to see him in something else. We'll have to see if we can get him on maybe one of our other GSRC broadcasts. Good to see him maybe in a GT3 car. Who you got, Sean?
Diogo Francisco with a big podium finish here today. Man, talk to us about that a little bit. You started in, I think it was in 4th, and you managed to get yourself on a podium. A little bit of strategy involved with that. Tell us about it.
Yeah, first of all, congratulations to Errol Num. He was great, both racing and strategically. It was a very calculated race, all race long. We were lapping sometimes 2 seconds off the pace because everyone was trying to save fuel. I think some of us actually were confident that they were able to make a one-stop race, but it wasn't meant to be. In the second round of pit stops, I put 3 laps more of fuel than I should have, and I lost the draft of Hero, and then it just controlled the pace because it's just so fast. And that's it.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's been a great season. You end it with a great drive today, and looking forward to 2018. What are your plans?
Yeah, I will just try to not miss any races because I had no chance at the championship this season. I'll try to bring a teammate so we can fight for the constructors also. But it will be a great season next season.
Well, I'll tell you what, you certainly got the pace to contend for a championship, so hopefully your schedule will free up and you can make all of those races, and boy, a teammate would be great. So, folks, Diogo is officially advertising. He needs a teammate, so hit him up. But congratulations on a podium finish today, buddy.
Thank you so much for your words. Actually, I have a teammate, so let's see.
You have somebody in mind, okay? All right. Well, good stuff. We will catch you next season, my friend.
Yeah, bye. See you next season. Great broadcast.
And our thanks to Diogo Francisco. Soup, you've caught up with Pierce Gocki.
Yeah, before I talk to Pierce, I think, you give Diogo a full season with a quality teammate, not only a threat for the team championship, but also maybe to bump Aeronal out there. All right, let's talk to Shortville, Pierce Gocki. He was fast, he made a mistake, and then he spent the entire 70 minutes trying to make it up. Pierce, nice run.
Thank you.
You were fast.
It was I don't know. It was okay. Obviously made a bit of a mess of the first lap, and like you say, spent the rest of the race working my way back from the back of the grid. But yeah, happy to manage to get up to 4th.
Yeah, we had one camera shot there where you were about a second and a half behind 5 cars in front of you, because I think Sean or I said it's like putting a carrot in front of a horse. There was such a feasting going on in front of you when you finally got up there.
It's not as easy as you think to overtake here. If somebody's fighting you around the S's or wherever it may be, you can actually lose a couple of seconds. So I think I was quite lucky with the traffic. My pit stops meant I came out in clear air most of the time. So yeah, I think I did as already.
What was the thinking when you were finally got up to those guys and I said, okay, now it's going to start, and then you were first to pull off? Did you short fill the first time, or did you said, I just get out of here?
Yeah, no, because I got the a 16-second stop-go penalty on the first lap for cutting the final corner. So then I just couldn't get rid of the slowdown. I tried to pull over and it just kept building back up again, and then I just got black flagged. So I tried to stay out for as long as I could until I had enough room left in my tank to just put the small amount in to get, that you need to finish the race.
Yeah, our director caught that. I'm thinking you picked up the slowdown penalty through the chicane, and then you tried to pay for it forever, it seemed like.
Yeah, it happens sometimes. It was the very final corner just after the chicane, actually.
Right.
I've never got a slowdown there before, so I must have made a real mess of it. But yeah, it sometimes happens on the first lap. You pulled over, slowed down, and then you think you've done it, and then it just starts building back up again. So yeah, I had to pit within. I stayed out for as long as I could to make sure there was enough room, and then filled up about 3 liters of fuel or so. And it just luckily worked out because I wouldn't have had enough fuel to finish the race. I was on my fumes at the end as I crossed the line. So when I pulled in, as I caught those guys, it's because I had to. I had no choice. I was running out of fuel. Yeah.
Well, it made for a great storyline. We had fun watching you work your way through. Congratulations. Look forward to seeing you next season.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. Thanks a lot. Bye.
Pierce Gocki for Draco Racing.
All right, Soup. I've caught up with Michael Hoflison, who we've watched all day here. Just have one incredible drive. Congratulations on finishing 6th. Did you have anything more left in that Skippy at the end of the race, Michael?
I want to say yes, but I think I'm gonna have to say no. Basically, like when I did my second stop, I got out just by Neptune. I think he brake checked me a little bit, so Joachim could get out in front of me after the last stop. But I'm not gonna say it was like that. But it was super hard in the pack I was in also, so you couldn't really like try to push away and try to catch Andrew and Nero and those guys. It was impossible.
And you talk about that pack. That was some pack. I mean, that was a lot of the excitement in this race. We're watching it on the replay right now. Involved that pack. What was it like being in that pressure cooker for basically 70 minutes?
Well, one, I think I had like 20 heart attacks. Two, it's really fun actually because I know the guys in the pack, like Vincent, Joachim, and all those guys, and they are trying to race as clean as possible, but still as hard as possible. So it makes for a fun race.
Well, I'll tell you what, you gave us a lot of fun moments today to watch, so we thank you for that. I know the viewers are really excited watching this one today. What are your plans for 2018 as we wrap up this season?
2018, I don't know actually. Obviously, I'm going to come back here, try to beat Aero. Seems like to be in the impossible thing, but I'm not giving up, and maybe trying to get in some GT3s. It's been a long time since I've done anything of that, so maybe.
Time to get back into the tin tops. Go ahead, Soup.
Michael, it's Soup here. Check our GSRC schedule because we do some GT3s. Look for one. We'd love to see you on some more broadcasts and other series.
Yeah, you have to hook me up. I'll definitely join.
Okay. Thank you, man. Congratulations. Always fun to interview. Always fun to watch your race. Congratulations on Season 7.
Thank you so much for the whole season. It's been an amazing Season 12, I think it is, 11. Can't even remember.
That's right. Yeah. Actually, you're right. It's several. Congratulations, and we'll see you next season.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, so I forgot that we have been the bootleg racing league, the absolute beginner league has been around. I think I've been calling it season. I apologize. I said season 7. Actually, this is the 7th race. It is season 12 this time. We've been around, and GSRC have been around for a lot of those. Well, with that said and done, we are all done. Let's go ahead and give some thanks to the Absolute Beginner League for organizing Formula Neagle and contracting with GSRC to broadcast it. We've been with them for a long time. They've had 12 seasons, and GSRC has been here, I think, for probably 6 or 7 of those. Thanks to the company's equipment and software that you see on the screen right now that we use on our broadcast, the original music that gives every GSRC broadcast that unique flavor and feel. Well, that's because of Eric Ekholm and Casey Lalonde. See the screen for how to contact each of them. With this being the season finale, GSRC's coverage of the ABL Formula Neagle has concluded. Hopefully, things will fall into place so GSRC can return to bring you yet another season of exciting Skippy action. If you'd like to find out more about GSRC, including dates and times of upcoming events, your best bet is GlobalSimRacingChannel.com. We're also on Twitter at GSR Channel and Facebook at Global Sim Racing Channel. Finally, on behalf of the GSRC crew, Sean Crackers Ambrose, our director Joe Peak, our camera artist Dougie Beard, Adam Young, who was on assignment, and everyone else who filled in with me this season, I'd like to thank all of you, the viewers, for watching. With that said, we're off to have fun. Storm of the Castle. Happy holidays, everyone. We'll see you next year. Until then, race clean, race hard, and we'll see you on the track.